Captain Elias Ward lived a quiet life now, far away from Earth, far from war, and even farther from his old memories. He had a small home on the edge of the human colony of Lysa 9, a planet of red deserts and twin suns. He didn't mind the heat. He liked silence. Silence didn't ask questions. Every morning, Elias walked the ridge above the colony. He always looked toward the horizon, though he didn't know why. There was something out there just out of reach. Face, maybe, a name, a sound. He didn't remember much from his past, only fragments. He had been a captain in the Earth Defense Fleet. Then something happened. A mission went wrong. His ship crashed. His memory broke. The doctors called it trauma-induced memory loss. He just called it the hole in his mind. People in the colony respected him, helped with repairs, defended them from pirates once, but no one really knew who he used to be, not even him. Then everything changed. It started with a signal unidentified. Vessel approaching orbit, the colony AI announced. Non-human design, diplomatic beacon active. Act. Elias stood behind the security officers, arms crossed, watching the hologram of the ship. It was sleek. It's like a silver wing floating in the black. Elegant alien. The AI translated the message. Requesting audience with Elias Ward, mate of the princess, Trella of the Yulari Imperium. A silence fell over the room. Elias frowned. That's impossible. I don't know any alien princess. But deep inside, something shifted. A word, a voice, a memory. The ship landed. The docking bay filled with a strange, soft light. The doors opened with a sigh. 4 armored guards stepped out, tall and pale, with long flowing hair and skin that shimmered slightly. Between them, in a floating silver chair, was a woman. She was beautiful, but not in a way Elias had seen before. Her skin was deep violet, her eyes bright silver, with glowing rings that turned slowly as she looked at him. She wore a robe of fine, blue silk, symbols dancing across it in golden thread. Her legs were covered by a soft blanket, and her hands rested firmly on the chair's control pad. She stared at Elias for a long moment. Then she spoke, her voice soft and musical. "Do you remember me?" Elias blinked. "Should I?" She smiled, but there was pain in her eyes. "I am Princess Trella, heir to the Yulari Imperium. You saved my life. You stood beside me when my people turned against me." She paused. "You are my mate." Elias laughed nervously. "Look, lady, I think you've got the wrong guy." She shook her head. "No, it was not a mistake. We shared the ritual of unity. Our bond is recorded in the Hall of Stars. You protected me. You promised peace, then you vanished." The room was dead silent. Even the guards looked unsure. Elias stepped closer. "I don't remember any of this. I was in an accident, lost most of my memory. I don't remember you." "I'm sorry, Trella." Lowered her gaze. "I feared this. Still I had to come. Our people are on the edge of war. The bond we shared is the only hope for peace. The others, those who seek power, will destroy everything. You are the only one who can stop them. You must come with me. Come with you. I don't even know who I am." "You are Elias Ward," she said simply, "champion of the Unity Pact. My chosen mate. And whether you remember or not, your name still holds power among my people." He looked around. Everyone was staring at him. Could feel the weight of their eyes, their confusion, their fear. But more than that, he felt something else. A pull, a thread tugging at his heart. A whisper in the back of his mind. He turned back to her. "Why would I agree to go with you?" Trella's eyes shimmered. "Because deep down, you do remember, even if you don't know it yet." That night, Elias sat on his rooftop, watching the stars. Trella's ship hovered quietly over the colony, lights glowing like fireflies. He couldn't sleep. He kept hearing her voice. "Do you remember me?" He had seen many strange things in his life, but her presence stirred something ancient and personal in him. Why did the sound of her name make his chest feel tight? Why did her eyes feel familiar? The colony governor called him the next morning. "She's asking for you again. Says it's urgent." So he went. The room inside the alien ship was soft and warm. Everything pulsed with gentle blue light. It smelled like flowers and starlight. Trella was waiting. "I won't force you," she said. "I know this must be strange, but time is running out. My uncle, Admiral Verox, seeks to remove me from the throne. He says I am unfit because I cannot walk, because I believe in peace with humans, because of us. If he succeeds, war will come. Millions will die. I need your help, Elias." Elias rubbed his temples. "And if I say no, then I will face the council alone. They will not listen to a disabled princess without a bonded mate to stand beside her. The Unity Pact is sacred. Only together can we claim its power. And if I come with you, what then? Pretend to be your mate. Fight your wars. You will only have to be yourself." She looked at him, eyes full of hope, "And perhaps you will remember the man I loved." Elias was quiet for a long time. Then he nodded. "Fine, I'll go with you. Not because I remember, but because something tells me I should." Trella smiled, and for a moment, she looked like someone he'd always known. As the ship lifted off, Elias stared out the window, watching the colony grow smaller below. Behind him, Trella spoke to her AI in soft Yalari tones. Elias touched his temple, a flash of something bright lights, her laughter, a promise made under alien stars. He closed his eyes. Maybe the past was still there, waiting, and maybe, just maybe, he was ready to find it. Elias Ward stood by the window of the alien ship, watching the stars pass. Space looked the same no matter where you were. But something inside him felt different now. He wasn't just a retired captain anymore. He was part of something bigger even. If he didn't understand it yet, Princess Trella sat across the room, checking her holotablet. Her silver eyes moved quickly over Yalari texts. She looked calm, but Elias could tell she was worried. "You haven't said much since we left?" he said. Trella looked up. "There is much to prepare. My trial begins in 2 days. We must arrive at the capital before then." "Trial?" "Yes," she said, folding her hands. "Admiral Verox has accused me of breaking tradition. He says I forged our unity bond. To gain power, he wants to take the throne from me." Elias frowned. "But you're next in line, right?" "I am, but my condition." She looked down at her chair. "Gives him an excuse. Many believe a ruler must be strong in body. I believe strength lies in the mind." Elias nodded slowly. "So where do I fit into all this?" Trella met his gaze. "You stand with me at the council, the bond becomes real again. They cannot deny my right to rule. Without you, they may remove me forever." Elias walked over and sat beside her. "I told you, I don't remember anything. What if I say something wrong? What if they don't believe me?" She touched his hand gently. "You don't need to lie. Just be there. Your presence is enough. And there's something else." She tapped her tablet. A soft beep. The ship's medical AI appeared in the air, a glowing sphere of light, with a kind voice. "Captain Ward," said, "I am Medica, Health Interface, unit of the Royal Ship. Princess Trella has asked me to assist in recovering your lost memories." Elias sat up straighter. "You can do that? There is a process. Memory reconstruction therapy. It will use deep neural scans combined with memory triggers from your past. It's not guaranteed, but it may help." Elias looked at Trella. "You really want me to remember, don't you?" "Yes," she said softly. "Not just for politics. For us, I miss the man you were. Even if you are different now, I believe he's still inside you." Elias nodded. "Let's do it." Memory therapy began that night. Elias sat inside a quiet chamber filled with soft lights. Medica floated nearby, humming gently. "Captain Ward, we will begin with visual prompts from your previous mission. You were sent by Earth to the Yalari Imperium 3 years ago." This is the first image. A scene appeared before him. Glowing garden under twin moons. Alien trees, tall and silver. The middle Trella, sitting alone in her chair. Watching the stars, the image flickered. Something stirred in his chest. Another image. A battlefield. Smoke and fire. He was running carrying someone. Her, as she was hurt. Another. A room filled with golden light, Trella smiling, reaching out. "Do you feel anything?" Medica asked. Elias took a deep breath. "It's like I've seen all this before, but it's behind a glass wall. I can't touch it." That is normal. We will continue." Hours passed. By morning, Elias was exhausted. Changed. He looked at Trella differently now. Not as a stranger, but as a memory. The ship arrived at Yalera Prima, planet of floating cities and glowing towers. The capital was built on a platform above the clouds, shining like a jewel. As they landed, dozens of guards in gold armor stood waiting. They wore masks, shaped like birds, and carried long staffs. Between them stood Admiral Verox. He was tall and broad, with sharp blue eyes and white markings on his chin. His robe was blood red, a symbol of his war title. He gave Elias a cold look. "So Verox," said, "the human returns." "How convenient," Trella rolled forward calmly. "We come in peace, uncle," Verox smirked. "Peace or lies." We turned to Elias. "Tell me, human do, you remember your bond with this so-called princess?" Elias stood tall. "No, but I came because it feels real, and because I believe her." Verox's eyes narrowed. "Belief is not truth. The council will decide." They were taken to the Hall of Stars, a giant chamber with a glass ceiling showing the sky. At its center stood a ring of high seats where Yalari nobles watched from above. Trella wheeled herself to the center. Elias stood beside her. The trial began. Voices echoed from above. "Princess Trella, you are charged with forging a unity bond for political gain. Do you deny this?" "I do," she said clearly. "Our bond was real. The human captain stood with me during the battle. Avilaris, he performed the sacred ritual in front of witnesses. We pledged peace." A noble scoffed. "Yet he remembers nothing." Elias stepped forward. "I lost my memory in a crash after the mission. But I came here because I believed what she says. And because I feel it in my heart." Laughter from the council. Varric stood. "Feeling is not fact. Show us proof." Trella raised her hand. "We have proof, Medica. Activate memory record." The AI's light appeared in the center, presenting. "Classified memory fragment? Battle of Iloris?" A hologram played. Elias in armor, bleeding, carrying Trella to safety. Her chair was broken. He stood before a burning wall, holding a shield. Another clip. The unity ceremony. A circle of stars. Elias and Trella touching palms, glowing threads of energy weaving between them. The room went silent. One noble stood. "This is real," another whispered. "I was there. I remember now." Verox's face darkened. "This changes nothing. He is a broken man. His presence is not enough." A council elder stood. "It is enough for us. The bond is true. The princess speaks the truth." Trella smiled at Elias. He gave a quiet nod, unsure what he had just helped her win, but feeling proud. Later, in her private chamber, Trella removed her crown and placed it gently on the table. Her hands trembled. "You did well today," she said softly. Elias sat beside her. "I didn't do anything special. You stood with me. That's everything." He looked at her. "Why me? Why did you choose me back then?" She looked at him, eyes soft. "Because when the world burned, you didn't look at my chair. You looked at me. You saw me as an equal. No one else did." Elias swallowed hard. "I wish I remembered." "Shh. You will," she whispered. Bit by bit. Outside, the window, the stars of her homeworld shimmered, and inside Elias, something finally clicked into place, a small, warm feeling. Hope. 2 days had passed since the trial. Princess Trella was officially restored to the royal line. The council had confirmed her unity bond with Elias Ward, the people of the Ilari. Imperium celebrated across the floating cities with lights, music, and sky dances. But Elias knew something wasn't right. There were too many eyes watching. Too many guards changing shifts. Varric Strella's uncle had vanished after the council ruling. No one had seen him since Elias stood on the palace balcony that evening, staring out over the clouds. The sunset here looked like flowing rivers of gold and purple. Beautiful. But uneasy. You don't trust him, do you? Trella said, wheeling her chair next to him. No, Elias said quietly. I've seen men like Verox before. They don't lose easily. And they don't go quiet without a reason. She nodded. You're right, he's planning something. Elias looked at her. Then why isn't anyone stopping him? Trella sighed. Because many in the court still support him. Hey. Fear change. They think my body makes me weak. And your presence, though it helped, also makes them nervous. You're still an outsider to them. He turned to her. Then let me prove them wrong. Let me help. You already have. No. I want to do more. Trella looked at him for a long moment. Then follow me. She led him down a private corridor behind the throne room, guarded by 2 silent warriors in black. They entered. A quiet chamber filled with soft humming. Inside was a large crystal orb, floating in the air, glowing with a blue pulse. This is the heart of memory, Trella said. Every royal stores their personal memories inside it. Yours are in. Here 2 fragments from our time together. Maybe even things you still haven't remembered. Elias stepped closer. Crystal glowed brighter. Suddenly dash flashes in his mind. Her laughter, his hand in hers, running through a golden field. Her lips on his forehead. The moment she fell from her chair, and he caught her. The night they swore to protect each other. The way her eyes looked when she was scared, and how he made her feel safe. He gasped, took a step back. I remember you, he whispered. Trella blinked, her lips trembling. You do? Not all of it? But it's coming. Back, like a dream turning real, Trella reached out, and this time he didn't hesitate. He held her hand. You told me, Elias said softly, that you felt broken, that no one would ever love someone who couldn't walk. I told you. They were wrong. I told you your mind, your heart, they were stronger than anyone else's. Trella's voice shook, and you said, you would stand beside me until the stars faded. He nodded. I meant it. The memory thread between them glowed. The crystal pulsed, the bond reconnected. Later that night, an alarm rang across the palace. Red lights. Echoing sirens, warning, unauthorized breach in the northern watchtower. Security override. Elias and Trella rushed to the command room. Guards were already there, watching surveillance feeds. Va rocks. He had returned with soldiers loyal to him. Weapons facility breached, said a guard. He's stealing a planetary disruptor. That's forbidden tech, no one's allowed to use it within city limits. Trella's face hardened. He means to destroy the palace. Force the council to surrender. Elias didn't hesitate. Where's the armory? You can't go alone, Trella said. I'm not. I need you to. They moved fast. Trella contacted her personal guard, a squad called the Star Wardens. Loyal to her. Trained in stealth and defense, they reached the northern tower just as Verox's men began loading the disruptor onto a hover platform. Elias ducked behind a wall, scanning the area. 3 guards at the gate, 2 with pulse rifles. 1 operating the controls. Trella nodded. I'll disable the gate lock. You distract them. He gave a small grin. Just like old times, she smiled. You remember that too? A little enough. He moved fast, silent, like the soldier he used to be. The first guard didn't. See him coming. Elias slammed him into the wall, grabbing the rifle. The second shouted, raised his weapon, but Elias rolled and fired, stunning him. The third tried to run. But Trella had already hacked the floor controls. Metal vines snapped up and trapped the man in place. The star. Wardens stormed the platform, but Verox was waiting. He stepped out of the shadows wearing ancient battle. Armor glowing with red symbols. His eyes burned with fury. You should have died in that crash, Verox growled. Out. You don't belong here. Elias stepped forward. I belong wherever I choose, and I choose her. Verox laughed. She's a cripple, a weakling. Yeah. You could have been anything. Why tie yourself to something broken? Trella rolled forward, because I am not broken, and neither is he. We are stronger together than you ever were alone. Verox roared and charged. The battle was fast, brutal. Varrock swung with brute force. But Elias dodged, struck back with precision. His memory wasn't fully back, but his instincts were. He fought like a warrior born. They clashed in the airlock chamber, sparks flying. At last, Elias knocked the weapon from Varrock's hand. Trella used her chair's energy pulse to trap him in a glowing shield. Guards arrived. Varrock was taken into custody. The war was over. The next morning, people gathered in the sky circled thousands of Yalari, human visitors, and allied races. Lights danced in the air. Music echoed. Trella and Elias stood before the people. She wore her ceremonial robe, blue and gold, her crown shining in the twin suns. Elias stood tall beside her, his earth uniform pressed and polished. "People of Yalara," she said, her voice clear. "The darkness is past. The bond between our worlds remains strong. We have faced doubt, betrayal, and fear, but we have also remembered who we are." She looked at Elias. "He is not just my mate. He is my equal, and my partner, my strength, as I am his. We stand not as ruler and servant, but as one." The crowd cheered. Trella reached out her hand. Elias took it, and in that moment, under the alien sky with the world watching, he remembered everything. The love, the promises, the hope, and for the first time, in a long time, he felt whole again. The victory over Admiral Varrock had brought peace to Yalari, Piriamat, at least for a while. Princess Trella and Elias Ward had become symbols of unity, hope, and strength. Together, they rebuilt trust among the people, strengthened alliances, and prepared to lead the Empire into a new era. But dark clouds gathered beyond the stars. One evening, as the twin suns set over the floating city of Yalara Prime,
Alaras.
and Elias met in the palace's war room, maps and star charts covered, the walls showing distant galaxies and trade routes. Several advisors stood around the table, their faces tense. A message blinked on the main HOLO- screen. Commander Vash of the Space Fleet appeared a tall, sharp-eyed woman with a reputation for honesty. "Princess," Vash said, "we have reports of strange ships near the Outer Rim. They don't match any known species or alliance. They're heavily armed and moving fast." Elias frowned. "Could they be pirates?" "No," Vash said. "Their tactics are too organized, too precise. They're attacking supply convoys, disabling communication satellites, and disappearing without a trace." Trella's silver eyes narrowed. "What do they want?" "Unknown," Vash replied. "But if they reach our core worlds, it could mean disaster." Trella turned to Elias. "This is bigger than Varrock. We must prepare." Elias nodded. "We'll need every ship, every soldier." Over the next days, the palace buzzed with urgency. Trella led strategy meetings, rallying the nobles and commanders. Elias trained with the Star Wardens, rediscovering his strength and skills. Each morning, he practiced his marksmanship in combat drills, slowly feeling more himself. One afternoon, while reviewing battle plans, Elias noticed something strange. "The attacks are always near communication hubs," he said. "Almost like they want to cut us off." Commander Vash nodded. "Exactly. If they isolate the core systems, we'll be blind, and they can strike." Trella's hand rested on Elias's shoulder. "We need to secure the communication network first." "But how?" Elias asked. "We have an old Yalari technology hidden relay stations scattered in the asteroid belt. They're unguarded because they were thought obsolete. But if we activate them, they can restore communications quickly." Elias smiled. "Sounds like a plan." That night, Elias sat alone on the palace balcony. The stars twinkled, but his mind was heavy. Trella joined him quietly. "You're worried," she said softly. Elias looked at her. "I am. I feel like we're fighting shadows, and every step we take, the enemy moves faster. But we have each other. That matters more than anything." He reached out, brushing her hair back gently. "I'm glad you're here." "So am I," she whispered. Meanwhile, in the hidden corners of the palace, a different danger stirred. A shadow moved silently through the halls, a figure, cloaked in black, watching, waiting. It was one of Varrock's loyalists. a spy named Lark. He had escaped capture during the battle and now plotted revenge. Lark's voice was cold as he spoke into a secret communicator. The princess is weak. The human is still recovering. The time to strike is soon. His fingers danced over a keypad, sending encrypted messages to a mysterious force beyond the Empire. They will fall. Back at the war room, tension rose. Sudden alert sounded. Enemy ships detected near Relay Station Gamma, Commander Vash reported. Trella ordered a fleet to intercept. Elias volunteered to lead a squadron. Feeling the fire of duty in his veins, the battle was fierce. Alien ships, cloaked in dark energy, attacked from all sides. Elias's squadron fought bravely, but the enemy's technology was advanced. One by one, ships fell. Elias's own fighter was hit. He ejected just before the crash. On a rocky moon, struggled to activate his beacon. Suddenly, he heard footsteps. Lark appeared, a cruel smile on his face. Well, Lark sneered. The human hero, alone and helpless. Elias stood, ready to fight. But before he could move, Lark pressed a button on a device. A wave of energy hit Elias, and his body went numb. He collapsed unconscious. When Elias woke, he was in a dark cell beneath the palace. Chains bound his wrists and ankles. Lark stood nearby, holding a glowing orb. "Welcome back, human," he said. "Your memories are useful, but now they are a threat." Elias's mind raced, he realized. Lark wanted to break the bond between him and Trella. "If you want to hurt her, you'll have to get through me," Elias said weakly. Lark laughed. "We'll see." Meanwhile, Trella searched for Elias. She sensed his absence deeply. Her advisors urged caution, but she refused to give up. With the Star Wardens at her side, she began an urgent search. Her mind raced with fear and determination. She refused to lose him, not again. Days passed. Elias used all his strength to resist. Lark's mind games and devices. His memories flickered like distant stars. He clung to the image of Trella's face, her voice, her touch. One night, he managed to reach into his pocket a small hidden blade he had kept from Earth. With trembling hands, he cut through the chains slowly, quietly. He moved through the dark corridors. He heard voices ahead. Voice clear and strong, he followed it. In the palace's secret tunnels, Trella led the rescue team. She pushed forward, ignoring warnings. Suddenly Lark appeared, blocking their path. "You should have stayed hidden, princess," he said. "But," Trella smiled, "strength is not in hiding." The Star Wardens drew their weapons. A fierce fight began. Elias arrived just in time, joining the battle. Together, they overwhelmed Lark. He fell, defeated, back in the safety of her chambers. Trella held Elias close. "You are my strength," she said. Elias smiled, tears in his eyes. "And you are my home." The enemy might still lurk in shadows, but together they would face whatever came. For love, for the Empire, for the stars. The palace was alive with tension. Princess Trella and Elias stood together, their bond stronger than ever. But the threat was far from over. The mysterious enemy ships, unknown and powerful, had returned. This time, they were not just raiding supply lines or spying. They were attacking the heart of the Yulari Imperium itself. From the command room, Trella watched the glowing holographic map. Red dots appeared rapidly near Yulara Prime and other key cities. The enemy fleet was large and advancing fast. "We have ours, maybe less," Commander Vash said grimly. Trella turned to Elias. "This is the moment we've prepared for." He nodded, determination shining in his eyes. "We fight for our people, for our future." The sky over Yulara Prime darkened as the enemy fleet entered the atmosphere. Massive ships blocked the twin suns, casting long shadows over the floating cities. The city's defense systems activated, energy shields sparked, laser turrets hummed, and fighter squadrons scrambled into the sky. Elias suited up with the Star Wardens. Ready to lead the first wave, Trella stayed in the command center, directing the defense with calm precision. "Remember," she told her people, We are not just defending land or power, we're defending hope. The battle began with a thunderous roar. Enemy ships unleashed torrents of plasma fire. The defenders fought back fiercely. Ilias's squadron darted through enemy lines, targeting command ships and supply carriers. He flew with skill and courage, but the enemy's technology was unlike anything they had faced before. Several Star Wardens were lost. Elias watched friends fall, but he pushed forward. He remembered the promises he had made to Trelot to protect her, to protect their people. Meanwhile, in the command center, Trelot's hands moved quickly over the controls. She coordinated. The city's defenses rerouted power to the shields, sent repair teams to damaged sectors. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Intruders detected in the palace. Trella's heart sank. Verox's loyalists saw worse, had found a way inside during the chaos. She activated her personal guard, Star Wardens, and prepared to defend her home. Elias received the news mid-dash flight. His ship rocked from a sudden explosion. "They're inside the palace," he said through his cum. "We must hold the line here and return quickly," Commander Vash ordered. Elias turned his fighter sharply, racing back toward the city. Inside the palace, shadows moved quickly. Larks. Followers had not given up. They moved through secret tunnels, aiming to capture Trella and seize control. But the princess was ready. She led the Star Wardens through hidden passages, setting traps and blocking entrances. Her chair transformed, releasing energy blades that cut through steel and locked doors. Her disability did not slow her, if anything. It made her sharper, more determined. The palace corridors echoed with the sounds of battle. Blades clashed. Pulses of energy lit the dark halls. Trella fought with fierce grace. Commanding her warriors and striking down enemies, she moved toward the throne room, the heart of the palace where the final battle would be fought. Elias arrived just as the attackers breached the inner sanctum. He jumped from his ship, landing in the courtyard together. He and Trella faced the enemy commander's hardened warriors. Loyal to Verox's dark vision, the air crackled with tension. Elias gripped his plasma rifle and Trella raised her energy blades. "We fight not for revenge," she said, "but for peace." The fight was fierce and long. Elias used every skill he had, every memory regained. Trella's strength inspired the defenders, pushing them beyond their limits. Slowly the tide turned. Enemy soldiers fell back, retreating into the shadows. At last the palace was secure. Outside, the enemy fleet was defeated. Commander Vash led the final assault, disabling the command ships and forcing the rest to flee Ilari. Cheers filled the sky. The Empire was safe for now, in the aftermath. Trella and Elias stood before the people. The floating cities sparkled under the twin suns. "We have faced darkness," Trella said, "and together we have brought light." Elias took her hand. "Our bond is proof that love and courage can overcome any obstacle." The crowd erupted in applause. Later, in the quiet of the palace gardens, Elias and Trella sat side by side. Stars twinkled above as the night air wrapped around them. "I remember everything now," Elias said softly. "Not just the past," Trella replied, "but our future." He smiled. "Then let's build it together." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "No matter what comes, we face it as one." The stars stretched endlessly before them. A new dawn was rising, not just for the Yulari Imperium, but for two souls bound by fate, love, and hope. Together, they would write a new story, one of strength, unity, and endless possibilities.